Hello! Welcome to episode 11 of The Weekend House. I'm Taryn of Elegant Upgrades. Don't mind the bracelet, we're doing stuff. So, I showed up today to the house and I'm here a little early because we're having our Easter here. So, the grass is mowed, yay! My aunt and her son came out and mowed the grass, got it all ready. And then my husband texted me and was like, hey, there's like no water pressure at all whatsoever. So we get here, me and I have my nephew and my youngest sister with me and the baby. And good grief, my hair is a nightmare. So we get here and then my stepdad shows up with my aunt and we are changing out the pump house situation. So we've got the holding tank here. This is a different kind of holding tank to one that we're getting in here. It's just different. And so because it's different, everything inside has to be different now also. So they made a quick run to Home Depot to make sure that they have all the fittings that will work to make it go together, because of course it never happens on the first run. So that's what they're doing. That's what we were kind of working on when I first got here, because usually I, open it up when I'm just unloading things out of my car. But that's what we're doing right now. Probably a lot of it won't be on film because I'm not going to set up a tripod in there. It just seems like a bad idea. And my aunt doesn't want to be on camera, which is just fine. Lots of people don't want to be on camera. So I'm not sure how much of that I'll get, but that's what we're doing. It's a fairly big job just because everything in there has been kind of just put together, kind of like the rest of the house. And so we're trying to make do with what we have and make sure it's gonna work. Because right now we have no water because it's shut off for that. And I came down early to get all the bread going and make sure all the food was getting ready so that I had it all done for tomorrow. And I couldn't work on any of that because the water is shut off. Yay. Anyways, so that's where we're at. We can go take a quick look at the gardens real quick. Let's do that. So this guy still looks good. I don't see anything popping up yet, which I'm kind of bummed about. I mean, I knew not all of it would pop up, but I figured I'd have at least a couple little somethings. And I don't see anything. So that was a little sad, but that's okay. It's only been not quite a week yet. So I did all these on Sunday and today is Friday. So we have more time. And I still have to get more planting done in here as well. Okay, let's go look at the grapevine ones. So that's my youngest sister. She's keeping the babies happy. He adores her. He just escaped me to go sit with her. All right, so here's the grapevine. Look at how much they've just since last week. That's super cool. I'm excited. So I didn't plant a ton over here. I can still do some on the back side, but I have just around this edge here. You can see we've got a watermelon coming here. I wanted it on the outside edge in case I needed to pull it out some. We've got some green beans potentially. None of this stuff has popped up either, which again is fine. Cucumbers, peas. I've got peas over here because I can help them run up this little trellis area. And so that will work there. And I'll get a couple other things too. Since we have bunnies, we're gonna have to do some caging in. But I think this will be good for now. And then we'll go look at the other bigger section of garden. So this one is still way more overrun even than, the last time you saw it, because that's just what things do in the lovely spring weather. They grow. We've still got tons of the little green onions over there, which is great. I'm gonna probably transplant those because I literally know nothing about gardening. So if you guys have tips, feel free to leave them below. But I've been just absorbing all that is information from Anne of all trades. Just found her. I think she's lovely, super cute, and she does something called lazy gardening, which I am all about. So that's what I think I'm gonna do with this, because we have our huge compost pile that I can work with, and I think I'm just gonna cardboard this and put stuff down and see what I can do. But that's where I'm going. So if you guys wanna know what that girl, she has a great garden and great animals and all kinds of fun stuff, and I feel like lazy gardening is the way that I want to I want to do this. Well, yeah, this is one of the projects on the house. It's got to be documented. I was like, my aunt doesn't want to be on film, but I could probably get my stepdad. He's been on it before. This part cracked me up because you could tell, well, I could, our frustrations were running high here and things were not working out the way that we'd wanted them to on multiple different areas of this project. And that's the switch, just that little metal?
Yeah.
It looks like how you open the door. Sounds like water something. All right, so it is actually Sunday. We're heading back today. We spent 8 hours getting this new water tank put in. Looks beautiful. However, we think the bladder already busted because you have to do extreme let outs because the property needs irrigated, and so it shoots water out very quickly. And then because we were doing the adjustments, for those of you who don't know, I learned all kinds of stuff. This is why I love doing this, because you just learn so much. So your pump, this is for a well, obviously. Your pump is supposed to turn on when the PSI hits 40, and it's supposed to shut off when it hits 60. And so we were making the adjustments to make sure that it was correct. Right now it is currently sitting at about 35, which is not where it's supposed to be. It's not where it was sitting when we first did this. We did hear a big popping sound, which apparently it's pretty hard to pop those, but it did, and because we had to do this huge let out of water. So we're gonna have to get another one. Right now the window of time is free, so my stepdad is coming back out before they head back down to California. I'm going to see if they want me to drain this right now, and then that way it's ready for when they get here. It's like 7:30. They're supposed to be here at 7, so I'm like, oh, maybe I should drain the tank for them. But I don't know. I wish I could have shown you guys the filter when we pulled it out, because they messed with the other tank. The other tank was bladderless, and I'm kind of wondering if that's not why it was bladderless. But I don't know. I'm going to talk more about it when they get here. So this is the filter room. And that's the filter right there. So it actually looks pretty good right now. Well, it's not focusing. But when we took it out, after we put in the new tank to replace everything, it was so filled with just all the craziest of craziness. The filter, I mean, there's no possible way it was actually filtering anything at that point, because when everything came up from the bottom of the old tank, it just completely, that filter didn't stand a chance. So I wish I could have got that on film, but we were all just kind of in a mad rush trying to get the water turned on because we hadn't had any for 8 hours, and I was trying to get everything ready for, our Easter party we were supposed to be having the next day. So it's been a fun weekend, and I didn't get, they keep happening, not the way that we'd like them to. I did learn a trick on this. I've always known that you needed to use the plumber's tape. However, you want to put it on a certain way so that when you're spinning the pipes together, they spin in the same direction. Otherwise, it will take your tape off with it. So I'd never even thought about that before. I just knew that you put it on to seal it. And then this is a sealing liquid that goes over, and it has like little bits of kind of the same material in it, and it seals in, tightens everything. Do you want me to hold the tank?
I just gotta get the thread started, and once I get the thread started, I can maneuver this piping the right way. Okay, let's get the thread started. is the red, right? Didn't we say that was red?
No.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
red.
and that's 3.
So that's the 3.
Is there soap? I mean, do they need to be wiped off, or are they okay?
Yeah, okay. And the black went to
That's 2.
right there. Okay.
And then later this day, my aunt came back out and she's like, let's just get that burn pile done. They had meant to do it a while ago, and we have just probably a couple more weeks of burn season. So we just got this done. It was huge. It needed to happen. So this was another thing that got done this weekend that wasn't directly on the inside of the house. So again, we're backed up a little bit, but it's one more thing done and off the checklist that, you know, is still part of things, but not any of the fun stuff that we get to see on the inside. But the boys had fun. The baby got to play in the hose, and he thought that was great. And Lucas got to kind of water the yard to keep the flames and everything down. And it was a good experience for them learning how to be safe around fire. Well, the baby probably didn't learn much of anything, but Lucas did, and that's really great. So I'm in the second room right now. I'm just kind of trying to clear it out and get at least something done inside the house, so I feel like I've accomplished something, because it's hard outside. There's a lot of work to be done out there, but it doesn't make me feel very accomplished. I feel like the garden's kind of fun for me, and I feel like I see growth, but the changing of the tank and the fire didn't, I'm like, oh man, but the house is still exactly the same. I feel like I didn't do anything. So I wanted to get at least part of this room going. So I'm just removing the curtain rods. I cleared out all the boxes. Those are in the apartment above the garage now, so they're out of the way, but we can still use them. I just have to show you guys this real quick. This is a screw I was unscrewing, but why? Because it's clearly not in anything in there. And then that is, it's fine. You can see when the last time this window was open. Yuck. So it looks like we will be redoing these windowsills as well, because this is also horribly damaged. Okay, on to the next one. I went ahead and started to remove the shelf. It's not going to stay in here. It's just kind of taking up space and it's unnecessary, so. All right, I've been doing everything with hand tools. I didn't bring a ton of my power tools, but I'm gonna need a driver to get the rest of these out because it's taking forever. My arm hurts. Why isn't it focusing? There we go. And there's tons of screws in there, and then on top of that there's screws down in the bottom screwing it onto this, which is actually great. It's a great way to put something heavy up because it gives it a thing to rest on, and it helps you to be able to have something to set it on while you're drilling stuff in. But that just is one extra step that I'm gonna have to deal with, and some of those screws are in there so tight. My driver is gonna help a lot because it's gonna help kind of bust them up and loosen things a bit. So I'm gonna have to handle this next weekend. But for the little amount of time that I had, I'm glad I got out that mini shelf over here that was screwed in. Man, look at these holes. I mean, they did not mess around. They just, and then same up for here. this was the same thing. There's something back there, like one of those metal anchors that, so it's not even used. I can't use it again. I'm just gonna have to fill those holes. I'm gonna have to pop this one out before I paint. And then I'm not sure what we're doing for curtains in any of the house yet, so I just haven't decided. But those have definitely got to be, I mean, look how big that is, guys. Like, that's my finger. It's like wider than my finger. And then this window is also doing that weird cloudy fog thing too. Also icky, but not nearly as icky as the front one. And like I said, we're going to keep these, but they're going to get painted because they're too dark. I'm going to just paint around them, I guess, because I would, yeah, those are locked in tight. I'd like to get an additional piece of trim right here, but I don't know if I'll be able to just because of how they were built. I just think it would look a little bit nicer. But it has a nice bottom. Oh man, the carpet's underneath it. I'm gonna have to pull that out because the carpet's underneath it. Let's see. Is it gonna show us where it's screwed in at? You guys let me know if you see it. Up here. I don't see it. I'd like to change these. These remind me of bottle caps. Those have got to go. Oh, something down here. I don't know what this is. Bowl of potpourri. Maybe with lights inside. Yeah, I don't know where that's attached at. I guess we will find out next week because obviously I'm not going to do that. And I'm just going to bring my drill and hope that the elevators are working again because I really don't want to use the stairs. I swear I'm not lazy, but interesting. Oh, you know what? There's part of it there in that corner. So you can see it from this front cabinet. Inside, we've got this, I would guess, is going into the wall. It's not down the next one. So I don't know if that's the only one, but I mean, it feels like it's locked in tight. All right, anyway, this is where we're leaving this room. I got all the boxes out. And the curtains taken down, the shelf. I'm gonna have to fill the holes. I envision just a little bed going here. I think the most you could get in here would be like a double. Just because you want to be able to use the cabinets. But I'll take some measurements. Maybe it's just going to be a twin that goes here and then we'll have one nightstand over there. We're going to remove this light here because that's just not pretty. I don't know. We're going to do some cool stuff in here. Who knows what the floor is going to be. But it has been one interesting weekend. I hope you guys had just the best Easter. I know it's going to be late for you guys and you will have already had it, but today is actually Easter for me, but we celebrated yesterday with the whole family. But thanks so much. That's another quick go around and I will see you guys next week. That's how we eat the cake. Oh yeah. Good job. That's so yummy. Is that good cake?
Remember when you got chocolate?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know that. I have not.
Is that good cake?